Listen, I wasn't even gonna post this video today. I had something else ready with regard to my thoughts on US soccer mandating their players having to stand during the national anthem, but I'm gonna push that to next week. So be on the lookout. And I did that because we witnessed history in the Champions League yesterday, and that got me curious. And when I get curious, this happens. It's the very curious news from around the globe with the amazing Conrad. Very curious news item number 1. What in the absolute happened to PSG? With all due respect to Barcelona and their historic and seemingly impossible comeback yesterday, PSG lost this game more than Barcelona won it. Because if I had a starting 11 as talented as these French giants have, which includes the likes of Cavani and Verratti and Draxler and Matuidi and Thiago Silva, among others, and a 4-goal lead, I don't care who they are playing or where they are playing, they should be able to lock it down and hold on. But that was the problem. They were playing like they were trying to hold on instead of playing with the same tenacity and desire that got them the 4-goal lead in the first place. And then sure, I can understand PSG and non-Barcelona fans complaining that the referee gave away the game, but the ref wouldn't even have had to been in that position to make those calls in the first place if PSG players, both collectively and individually, hadn't stopped making plays. And don't even get me started about them trying to hold a high line at the end of the game. If there's not adequate pressure on the ball, then you have to drop off, okay? If there is adequate pressure, then the player theoretically has his head down, he can't see everything, and then you can take that space, you can throw off their runs, and more often than not, that works out for you if everybody's on the same page. But once Neymar cuts in on that last goal and picks his head up, that's a cue for everybody to drop. There's no more pressure on the ball. You can't continue to hold a high line because now guys can see it all happening. They can time the runs accordingly, which is exactly what happened. And that is collective defending 101, and PSG should be f***ing embarrassed. Very curious news item number 2. Christian Pulisic is not the American hero we want right now. He's the American hero we need right now. He is 18, and he not only started in Borussia Dortmund's biggest Champions League game of the season, but he assisted on the first goal that tied it up against Benfica, and then he scored the game winner with a classy run and finish, and I guarantee that, despite this performance, he's still not gonna buy into his own hype, and that's what makes him special. And I say this not doubting his incredible ability, but to reinforce that it's his mentality that's gonna make him great. Also, he's probably only one of a handful of people that can actually pronounce Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's name correctly, and that must be a pretty good feeling. Very curious news item number 3. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain apparently wants out at Arsenal. I mean, when you and your club get embarrassed like you did against Bayern Munich twice, it's natural to want to seek a solution to these problems, which may include you considering playing somewhere else. So I understand where he's coming from. Plus, when your best players and your leaders, Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil, aren't committing themselves to long-term contracts, you have to be thinking, what's going on here? Where are we going? What is this club doing? What am I doing with my career? It's a short window of time that I can play. So I can just understand in general, given the situation and the frustration, why the players are restless. So I really feel like this is gonna come down to the Arsenal board and who they decide to back, the players or the manager. And they've never gone against the manager before, so very curious news item number 4. One of the most handsome men in the game that isn't me is set to retire. That's right, I'm talking about Xabi Alonso, the 35-year-old Bayern Munich midfielder who has won every trophy imaginable minus the Premier League with Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern, and the Spanish national team is calling it quits, and I just wanted to show my appreciation because he's not a guy that I think you first think of when you're thinking about who are the best deep-lying playmakers of all time, and that's probably because you're thinking about my Lord and Savior Andrea Pirlo, but he should definitely be a part of that conversation. All right, that's it. That is all I got, so I'll see you tomorrow. Later.